Mark Tedeschis, thanks so much for your time. And thank you for sharing your vision here.
Thank you.
How long have you been into photography and what got you into it?
I've been really interested in photography in a serious way for about since about 1988, so what's that, about 20-something years. But when I look back, I think that even as an adolescent I was really interested in it. I wasn't as focused as I am now, or have been for the last few years, but when I look back at my photography that I was doing when I was travelling in my early 20s, I was photographing different things to what everyone else was photographing.
Like what?
Well, people would travel through Europe and photograph the sights. When I look back at my photographs, I was photographing the people looking at the sights. And through the years, I think the most common thread is photographing people. I do a lot of portraiture, a lot of street photography.
When you are travelling far and wide, what was it about people that you thought could capture and tell a story about that place?
Look, I just find people fascinating, and when I look at people, I feel as though I want to depict them, to depict their essence, and somehow by watching people and by photographing them, I can come to understand them more. So it's a very strange sensation that when I want to take somebody's photograph, I want to try and almost make myself invisible so that they're not aware of me and I can capture them in a fairly unguarded moment. I suppose that's what I like about street photography, because you can try and become unnoticed.
Given your day job as Senior Crown Prosecutor in New South Wales, you've dealt with the length and breadth and depth of humanity. How do you think that's informed what and how and who you see through the lens, through your photography?
Look, I don't think that it's so much that my legal work has informed my photography, or even vice versa. I think it's more that photography uses a completely different side of my brain, and it enables me to use my creative instincts. And I find that...
You saying the law isn't?
Look, there is a creative element in appearing in court. You know, one has to not just advance logical and rational arguments, but one has to appeal to people's emotions as well. But with photography, it's just... there's nothing logical or rational about it at all. It's a lot of other things, and I find it a very good counterpoint to the work that I do.
Let's have a look at a few of your photos here. Shall we start over here?
Yep.
So this one looks like somewhere gloomy in Europe somewhere.
It's actually in the Blue Mountains.
I take back gloomy.
Okay. Look, the whole exhibition is about light,
yeah,
and about the use of light, and about the emotional effect of light. It started off that way when I started this project about a year ago, but it's evolved in recent times to be a little bit more than that, and there are quite a few of the photographs that I think now have a metaphorical or allegorical element. So I think that each of them displays a different aspect of light. But this one, for instance, to me, it's called Hemmed In, and it exemplifies how sometimes we're kind of, we can't turn left, we can't turn right. We can only go in one direction. We've got big walls kind of forcing us to go in one direction. We think that we're all on our own. We have that sensation that we're all on our own, but really so many people are going down the same path, so that we're really not on our own at all. It's called Colliding Galaxies, and to me the young boy inside the bubble reaching out, and his hand happens to coincide with the light coming through the bubble, and then the light on the water and the light in the background. It all works in terms of the light. But it also works for me on an allegorical level, that really everybody has the sensation of being in their own bubble. And sometimes the bubbles bump up against each other, just like galaxies bump up against each other. And when galaxies collide, there are terrible cataclysmic events. And sometimes when the bubbles of people collide with each other, you get a lot of explosive moments. And to me, this image just characterises the sensation that we're in a bubble. Each of us is in a bubble, but in reality, of course, we're not. We're all in the one big bubble. I find it does change me when I have my camera at hand. I get a sense of anticipation, a sense of excitement when I see something that I want to photograph. At times it can become almost painful. There's this incredible sense of tension that builds up, that I know what I want to capture. I know what I want to achieve with a photograph, and am I going to be able to? And of course with digital photography it's a lot easier, because you get instant gratification. You can see instantly what you've done and whether it's what you wanted to do. And if it's not, you can try again.
Yeah.
So,
and you don't always get that chance in life, do you?
no, you don't. Even in photography you don't.
No.
Often the moment is gone.
Yeah. Are these easy to photograph? Because while you're dealing with the transience of the sun, those buildings aren't going to run away. Is the moment likely to last longer as opposed to trying to photograph people?
Yes, indeed. And you'd be more likely to be able to come back on another day if the conditions weren't quite right. So it is easier in a sense than photographing people. With people, yes, the moment can disappear, never ever to happen again.
Yeah, it's one of the things about photography, isn't it? There's that wonderful old Latin saying about life is short, art long, and yet with photography, it not only celebrates the fact life is short, so is the moment to capture the art. How much of a challenge, how much of a joy of photography is that?
Look, I think that what I've found over the years is that I get confronted by serendipitous moments, and you can't go looking for them. They happen in front of you, but you've got to be open to them. And when you see them, they're a gift to be photographed. But you can't recreate the same serendipitous moment. But there will be other moments that you come across in the future. So you just have to try and have the right frame of mind to be open to those things. It's called ennui. A lot of people are not familiar with that word. It means boredom or lethargy. And it was shot inside a typical Australian fibro cottage, a modest sort of cottage. It's actually a self-portrait.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
You had mighty fine feet, I must say, Mr. Tedeschis.
And yes, it's a scene of domesticity and lethargy. And again, the light is very important. The way the light comes through the blind and illuminates the room in a gloomy sort of a way.
You don't strike me as the sort of guy, though, that would lie around too much. I don't think this is a self-portrait in terms of your character. Lethargic is not a word I'd apply to you. You seem to pack so much into your life.
Well, maybe it's just how I felt at the time I took it. Or maybe, sometimes the camera does lie. Sometimes photography does involve distortion. In the course of the last 20 years, I've probably had maybe half a dozen occasions when I've captured serendipitous moments that show an essential quality of people that I think only photography could capture. And I suppose my wish is to have more moments like that, where I capture something so so significant about human beings, and it captures something that photography is unique at capturing.
And your summation of human beings after capturing the sum of emotions of characters of moments?
Oh, look, I love people. I think people provide an endless source of interest and fascination, and I believe in the essential goodness of most people.